magicians, welcome to episode 15 of the Money Magic series. My name is Vangile Makwakwa, and I help people heal ancestral money stories so they can fall in love with their bank accounts and live their best lives. And I'm the founder of Wealthy Money, and in this series, I interview my private clients and students for the courses around their work with money and what it's like working with me, and they share their incredible stories around money. So this is episode 15, and my guest with me today is Hlathikazi, and she is one of my private clients. Welcome, Hlathikazi.
Hello there, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great, thank you. And thank you for this incredible opportunity to talk about my
I am so excited to have you on here. I'm literally like, this is going to be so juicy. Guys, this episode is all about ease. We're going to talk about money and ease because you're about to be blown away. But before we even start, Hlathikazi, please tell us about yourself. What do you do? Who are you?
Hlathikazi, born and bred in the Eastern Cape. I've recently moved to Johannesburg. I am a marketing PR graduate and postgraduate. And I was a corporate for 8 years and decided to go independent 4 years ago. And I kind of left what I was really doing and fell in love with logistics. So I'm mostly into trucking now. So I move minerals for mines around South Africa. So that's what I do at the moment. That's why I'm in Joburg.
Oh, wow. This is so exciting. So you're in trucking, in mining. That's amazing. But that's not just the only thing that you do. You also have other things on the side. You have other businesses.
Foundation work, consulting work still in PR and marketing. So yeah. I try stretch myself as much as I can.
Yeah, you're like this really serial entrepreneur. It's amazing.
Oh, and an aspiring property magician, aspiring.
But we're getting there, right? Yeah. And we'll share the story because you already are on the way. You've started. Hlathikazi, what does money mean to you? If an alien had to land today, how would you explain money to them?
Money for me is a medium of exchange. It's a medium of exchange. It's a feeling. That's something I just recently learned. And it's also a way to transact into acquiring things that you want. So whether for leisure or expansion in business terms, it's a way of showing up in growing and expanding yourself and expressing yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's also a spirit, but we'll talk about that later. It's also
it's
definitely a spirit. So yeah, it's a whole entire being. If I'm
okay, so here's the thing. Like every time people say spirit of money on here, I feel like there's a half a population that just goes like, oh my God, this is why we don't want to work with Vangile. Yeah. This is it.
This is why I had to just put it in there. But it is a medium of exchange for all the Oxford Dictionary definition. So yeah, but it's definitely an expression. It's a best friend. It's a best friend.
Yeah, I love that. It's a best friend, right? I definitely feel like money. I love what you said about money as an expression, because I always say that money doesn't change us. It just enhances who we are. You know, I used to think that like, oh, if I expanded and my business made more money, I would become this out there person. And I'm like, I think like deep down, I'm just a recluse and I just love to do nothing.
You actually tried to rediscover what you really want about yourself, like in that journey.
Yeah, so it can be a pleasant surprise for some of us, and some of us it can be really a glaring shock, right? So when did you start suspecting that your relationship with money wasn't just about numbers on a budget, income coming into your bank account?
So as you highlighted earlier, I'm an entrepreneur. So I've got that brain. I thought it was normal, by the way. I've got that brain where I'll see things. I'm like, I could sell that. There's a market for that. Like, how come I didn't think of that? So I'm not exactly innovative, but I'd really pick up things that already exist and I'll just push it, you know? So that's how I also excelled in my corporate times, because I'd see opportunities and talents in things, even in people. So that was, I thought that was my life. That was my role. So I sell something, I make it, it's done. I wanted to quickly move on to the next, move on to the next. And I could see money coming in. I felt like it was then a relation of how much I think and how much creativity I bring in. I didn't treat it as a result and something to focus on and something to plan around, because I'm only planning my moves. Who cares about money? It's gonna come in anyway, you know? So that was a quite scary thing. And when I couldn't do it as I thought I could, especially around lockdown and COVID time, it then hit me on some, I can't hustle at the same rapid rate I used to. I don't really have that much of a market. I mean, people now are losing their jobs. There's industries closing down. So I had to actually sit down on some, I don't really have a plan or a budget, but what if this thing carries on for 2 years and the norm in terms of activities and I'll call it turning over my creativity is not going to be there anymore. So it became real. I'll be honest, like I'm 31 in 2 weeks. I've never thought of it as it's a thing that was there. Like I've never struggled. It's never been that thorough with me, even with bankers and all these other things and degrees. I just felt like, yeah, this is my life now. I'm a girl. I can buy things whatever. You know. So
because what you've just said just makes a lot of sense, right? Like it is so counterintuitive that it's so, like what we've been taught is that the more you hustle, the more money you make, you know? And I go around teaching, as you know, the more you hustle, the more you're probably losing opportunities and losing money. Stop that hustle. And so it's so counterintuitive because we've been taught that obviously if I work hard enough and I have more things and I'm giving more energy, then more money will come. Right? But like you said, what happens when you can no longer do that, when that is no longer an option?
So I think that was the biggest thing for me. And it was just like, does this mean I must go back to employment? But to what? I just said industries are closing, people are retrenching. So lifestyle downgrade to what? For how long? You know? Like, and I'm not a lavish person. I'm the most basic person ever. But it's like, what must happen? You know? So yeah, it was quite a scary.
So then, why did you decide? So now industries are closing. It is the height of things going meltdown and COVID, and you're like, I think I'm gonna just reach out to Vangile for one-on-one coaching and spend like 6 figures on that. Like, how did that compute? What was going on in your head?
Okay, so I had honestly been stalking you for a year or so, right? Before I reached out. So I'd already subscribed, I didn't do much of the social media, but the emails, I was on your email list and I know weekly something will pop up. The podcast, okay, and then you've got the e-learning book, which I sucked at because I felt like, why are you patronizing me? But anyways, I like this girl, you know, and personality. So I'd follow your story. And the biggest thing for me is because I'm based in South Africa. So I thought with the little bit of money that I have, who am I going to consult? Because even my own bank does not know what is going on. So I did a bit of research, private banks, what do you then invest in? Because you can't exactly go and expand business. I'm in trucking, getting more trucks and that will be ridiculous. Financing is actually slim. So what do we actually invest in? Property at the time, you couldn't even view, like agents, everything was virtual. So you can't even view, if you're going to say you're going to invest in property, but who's going to be your market? Who's going to rent this place? So I was just losing my mind. So I'm like, I need something different. I need something different. It seems like this girl has a plan. Like every other month, she's saved somewhere else, and she has like, and you know, you've got a financial background. I did finance in undergrad, so I was like, and it was just finance on debtors and creditors, to check things out. My accountant didn't know, my banker didn't know. Everyone was just on some. Nobody really knows what's going on. But if you need a COVID fund relief, you must show the effect of COVID. We'll lend you money. And I'm like, I don't think you guys get it. I do not think you guys get it. Unfortunately, the industry I'm in was at 50%. It didn't completely shut down. So hence my jailbreak. So I reached out to you. I saw your 6 figures. I'm like, I just told her I might have financial problems in the next 6 months. Why does she want to take off from this? So
why is she adding to my financial
problems, girl? Like, dude, what am I gonna live on? At the time, I'm squatting in a guest house. Listen. So now I just like, and then I didn't read the whole thing. I saw the 6 figures. I shut off. I was like, no, this one, she's crazy. Then I reread 2 days later. I'm like, she's got a payment plan, like some monthly vibes. I was like, okay, let's try this. I'm gonna pay her 2 installments. If she doesn't make sense, I'm out. Useless.
Oh, that was your plan.
I'm telling you, to this day, from the first session, I didn't know what to expect, because you know how life tells you need to be prepared.
And on top of that, you forget, I was like, you have to wait 2 months before coaching with me. I'm not taking any clients for another 2 months. It's like,
so I'm like, if I miss her.
I know the drill.
So I'm like, if I miss,
wait, she charges this much, and then she also has like a whole waiting period before you work with her.
What is that? So I thought, okay, if I miss you and not get into the 2 months, what's gonna happen to my life, you know? Because you're virtual anyway, might as well.
Yeah.
That's when that was actually the reason why I reached out, and I don't regret, like, do it all over again. Like, everything I was scared of. You know, when you feel you know things, you know, I'm a very important person in society, but you showed me how, I don't know anything about anything. But yeah, it's been a great experience. It's been a great experience.
So I'm sure people are wondering, what is it like working with me? What was the first session like? Because like you said, you're a finance person, so you know money stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know what to expect. You're a serial entrepreneur. You know, what could I possibly teach you? What's with this whole vibe?
Academic, okay, a whole postgraduate, all right? I'm in grad school, okay? So for me, I think the biggest shock is, I'll put it bluntly, how you broke it down. You broke me first before we could start the work, if that makes any sense. Like,
no, it doesn't. I don't want people to be like, yo, she's gonna mentally and completely break me. What does that mean?
In a very, very good way. So we come with all these, you know, like, we layer ourselves. So I came with like 3 or 4 jackets or coats that I felt, I'm very important. I know what I'm doing. Whatever you try to tell me, I'm just gonna, it wasn't even a learning experience for me. I came with the notion that I know stuff and I know my business better than you. And I know spending patterns and whatnot. So whatever you come with, if I need to object, I'm gonna object. But you never took it there. It was not academics. It was not even, but firstly, you open up and say, tell me about yourself. What's going on? Like, it's a whole conversation. And then you start, you make us pick out what is wrong with us.
Yeah.
And how the sessions just also go from a whole laughing situation to a whole crying situation to also a bounce back situation. And also understanding the deep rooted causes of our patterns. I mean, I was shocked on how my family patterns, because I felt like I'm the firstborn, I'm a provider, my brothers can't lack. My mom, you know, like it made me feel good and important. I was not factoring that in when I planned my business moves. I was not factoring that in when I do my annual reports. I was not factoring in how subconsciously I feel I've got a lifestyle inflation. So beyond what I make, I must quickly spend. I'm going to make it again. Till, like I said.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for that or our engagement, I wouldn't have known. I mean, I've gone through therapy. It's not therapy, guys. Like, it's not even life coaching. It's just something else. And I feel like, why do we waste our time doing all of these things? I feel like I should have gone from matric, hustled for 2 years, met you, and because
thank you.
Like, because it's real life stuff, and it's and it's all individually packaged. Everyone is different. Like, it's all individually packaged. We have a different story. It's scripted. It's not you've got you make 50,000 rand a month, but you lose 48,000 rand. You live to 2,000. This is your problem. You must try. No, it's not even about that.
No, because most people will expect me, they'll say, what is the curriculum? And people because I think a lot of people are paying so much, they like, I want a curriculum. And then I'm like, I don't know.
And material.
Like, I literally
want to take away material.
Yeah. You know, and I'm just like, your soul provides the curriculum. Your ancestors will provide the curriculum. Definitely not me. And right now, they will figure it out in every session, and your soul will also know what the curriculum is, and you set it. And I think that's where the power of the breakthroughs come from, because it's not, I can't come and say, oh, you are spending more than you make, this is your problem. Because 7 billion people, we are all driven by 7 billion things that are causing us to spend in a particular manner, you know? So what causes one person to spend radically is not always the same thing that causes another to spend radically. So this is I'm so glad that you brought that up.
And the intentional part of it, you know, the intentional part of it. Because I've learned with the work, if you don't show up for yourself and be intentional, you can't, it's not like, you know, in varsity, you can be present and be on time. Yeah, I'm here for my DP. There is none of that. You need to show up, be present, be in the spirit, and also want it to work, you know? So so the attentiveness then, you know, that I don't care how your week was, when the session starts, it has to start and you need to be present.
Yeah. But what I will also say is, remember when you would come to sessions and you would say, but I've had such a bad day, I'm not at my best, I don't want to show up today. And what have you learned from that? Because I think there's so much pressure for people to think that I need to come prepared, I need to have done the homework, I need to, you know, I need to be on my A game. And I'm always like, why do you need me then?
I don't know how many times I haven't done homework. Like, and you see that, which is the oddest thing. So what then I felt is I must just rock up.
Yes.
I've learned, and every time you kept saying, just show up for yourself, show up, because you're not just letting you down or forfeiting the session or losing money, you literally let your soul down. You left your progress. Because now you already have created all of this interest and keenness from the universe, and then you are now on the physical, connecting your data and showing up. I mean, like, do you get how minimal my part as a everybody else has already, you know, come through for me and seeing the results, and then halfway through. So it's just one of those things. And you know, there's days where I just open my screen and I'm just bawling and crying. I have nothing to say for 2 hours. and I did not know that. And I didn't even know that I could be so clear and so light. But the time we break away, I'm lighter. I want to do things. I want to find things. It's a whole shift. It's a whole paradigm.
Yeah, no, I love it. This is why I love this work. I love seeing Black women go from one thing to like the next in a space of months. It's like my favorite thing. And
Oh, and
also
the
because
connections are everything. The connections are life. If you're not keen
you're
on your
gonna
money,
have,
start connections. Like,
okay,
hi,
you're
I'm
gonna
starting.
have to, you have to break that down because people are like, what do you mean by connection?
Okay, so Bangile has got this incredible talent that I think she's sleeping on. You could literally be starting a slab chips company or like a food truck, and she'll know a person that can sell you food trucks and give you potatoes at a discount. So, and for her, it's so natural. It's like, yeah, I'm stuck. I'm trying to ship things to Botswana. Oh, yes, I've got this friend of mine. And instantly, it's like right there. And the credibility you then get because she's got a great relationship with the people already. She'll be like, hi, this is one of my students. You do not understand what that means to me as a new person in a new province and city. And I feel like I've been running around trying to find stuff. Whereas, so the value from the six figures actually quadruples based on just the connections and the stuff that actually happens. So I think it's the best investment I've ever
Yeah.
made. Like ever. Like the returns are
Yeah.
insane
No.
on a weekly
Thank
basis.
you.
And if you see, I rush onto actioning whatever because and then I'm
Yeah,
terrible
like,
with communication, but within 72 hours, I need to have made contact. Hi, I'm that girl she mentioned. We are on. We are doing this.
so
So
guys, it's kind of a funny story. I have like these, I just know random people in this world. Like it
globally,
seems
globally.
like
Richard
globally.
Branson's office. Richard Branson's office. Can I say that?
Not really. Not really. I just know people that can connect you to people who can connect you to that. It's just, so what happened in my life, right? I'm like one of those people, so I can just give background to people. So in my travels, I have this really crazy thing where like I'll be sitting at coffee shops, I'll be sitting on a beach, someone will come sit next to me, we'll talk, and then I just keep in touch. Like happens all the time. It happened in Laos, in Cambodia, everywhere I go. Like then I'll end up like touching base with people randomly every few months. And I don't go out of my way to make business connections. I was telling Hlathikazi, it just so happens that I know random people. Someone will be like, I grow avos. And then I'll keep in touch with them. Like the last time I was in Goa, I met this family that came to sit at my table and they were like, we just want to have a conversation with you. They stay in like Hyderabad or something. I'm still in touch with all of them. They send me pictures. They've invited me to India. So I don't even know how it happens, right? So it just so happens that a lot of my clients end up benefiting from that craziness because I'll be like, yeah, I know this one, I know this person. And then in my coaching sessions, it just so happens that I know
in
the most
conversation.
random people. Like there'll be someone who like grows avos and I'll know an avo grower that imports and exports avos. And I'm just like, I don't know how. So that's what
And how you remember
Hlathikazi means.
is actually quite incredible. How you remember, like you just spark and you're like, I'll write that down. I'm gonna put an extras next to it. Okay, you must just look at your notes. Oh, and she gives you like 5 pages, guys, like 5 pages of the conversation you guys had, and to do, and NB, and stars, and the recording of the entire session, so you can watch yourself cry out and be angry. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so it works.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, so I'm very, very interested. So all this is awesome, but what do you wish you had known? Let's start talking about ease a little, right? You gave us a little snippet of like the hustle versus money thing. So what do you wish you had known about money before starting this journey? Or rather about ease, the connection between ease and money, and tell us some of the changes that you've made in your life and how you've seen that shift.
Okay, so I wish I would have understood that it doesn't necessarily mean I need to work as much as I used to when I had a 9 to 5 for me to get the same results. So I think
Yes.
that indoctrination where you felt you need to be in the office for that long.
Yeah.
25th, you're gonna make the same 39,000 anyway. You know what I mean? So you took that away, and you felt you're now independent. You don't want things to fail. You've got contractors, you've got staff, and whatnot. So they must look at you doing twice as much for you to justify
Yeah.
whether you are succeeding or not. And the
Yeah.
biggest thing is you don't want to fail, because if you don't want to fail
Yeah.
and you had not put in the effort, do you understand the spiral
Yeah.
that would be? So
Mm.
I recently, because of an illness I was faced with, and from doing the work and from understanding my body and how I want to structure my business, so I was forced to have an expansion plan that I hadn't planned. So I'm taking it now on a sabbatical for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
What you have taught me, I don't know where you got the hours. You're like, what makes you think when you don't work you will not make money? And I
Yeah.
sat and I pondered on that, and I'm like, she's right. Why wouldn't? Because everything's already set up in a particular way, and what I
Yeah.
missed out on was not meant to be. Because that's also the other thing. We feel like if you take a step back, you're missing on a lot of
Yeah.
opportunity, because you're running from opportunity to opportunity. A lot is falling through the cracks,
Yeah.
and you don't get to grow
Yes.
the little that you've already been blessed with. So
I
currently,
love that.
I work 4 hours a day. I
Yay!
kid you not, a day, which is 20 hours a week. I refuse to do anything work on a weekend or a Saturday or a Sunday. I know in the midst of COVID and lockdown, that's what I do. 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it's just been incredibly intentional and productive, because I set up my day,
Mm.
well, the day before, or I'll make my appointments as we go. So I know who I'm seeing when, and who I'm touching base when, who I'm following up with when, and I've learned to delegate. So I've streamlined things that don't need me. Like I don't have to physically,
Mm.
handle it. And that whole experience has given me another perspective in how I treat myself as the body now, how I
Yes.
spiritually treat myself, my health, how I'm giving back to myself as a soul. So that I didn't know, that I was not aware of.
Yeah.
And how I'm
Yeah.
also empowering other people, because everyone's watching me running around thinking, she's superpowers. But now that I've delegated, they're like, they're also learning and are very appreciative, and they've seen how much I've given into all of this. They don't want to let me down. It's like, it's a beautiful experience. I swear,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful experience.
Yeah. There's this
And money's
deep
still coming in.
belief. And money is still coming in. I wanted to actually ask about that. And what's happening in the downtime? Are you feeling like you're contracting, or are you seeing expansion happening in your business?
Expansion and more
Yeah.
confidence. I'm
Yeah.
not exhausted. I'm not
Yeah.
running around. It's not a chore. This is not I'm carrying this bag.
Yeah.
Like I want to put it down. No, it's there. I look forward to doing things. I follow up. My team's on a roll. The relationships I'd already built, because there were clients willing to wait for me while I was ill. Like that's how deep
Yes.
I was. I'm actually not that bad. Like there's people that didn't want to move on and wanted to wait for me,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to spend the 4 hour thing. It's like, yeah, we'll touch base once a week. It's okay. Take care of yourself. It is just,
Wow.
it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think is so incredible. But what you've said about the delegation and people feeling like, no, they can't let you down. I think often we don't understand that the reason why sometimes people are not taking on the reins is because we're holding on so tightly and we're not giving them the autonomy that they want and that they crave for. So we are actually the ones that are in the way, because we tend to have this belief that no one can do it as well as I can. Right? And now you're saying, I love how like you've been seeing that there are people in the business who have other ideas that you never thought of, tech stuff that you never thought of, automation concepts that you never would have come up with, but that because you were holding on so tightly, that wasn't coming through and it wasn't being implemented because you were not giving that autonomy. So
Yes.
powerful. Oh, wow. I love that. So, do you see how has your idea of trauma changed since starting the coaching? How do you view trauma and what's your understanding of trauma? How has that changed?
So as highlighted earlier, I am firstborn. So I'm
Yeah.
the one that's meant to quickly get over things and soldier on. So, and
Yeah.
I'm like the strongest person under the sun. I can handle anything. And I mean, it's written. One thing about trauma is not on the outside, but you don't understand what parasite it is because it keeps growing and keeps growing, and it just keeps eating away because you can't see it. So, like
Yeah.
when my has happened, I was like, actually, I need to calm down and actually focus because now there's deep rooted things that are even before my time that I was not even aware of.
Mm,
And I just then got onto the wavelength and then I carried on, then added on my baggage. When is this ever going to
yeah.
stop? You know, like from my grandmother.
Yes.
And it just becomes a whole
Yeah.
thing. And you feel you are exhausted, but you don't know why you're
Yeah.
exhausted. When you're tired is tired. Like when you're just like,
Yeah.
I yeah. So trauma now I've learned is very dangerous. We all need inner work.
Yes.
Much as we go to
Mm,
spas, facials, smell great, dress up great, inner work has to be done because it's a whole inward outward experience. If the it is great,
yeah.
it glows, it manifests. You don't even have to wear that
Yeah.
much makeup to cover up things. You are and you are in the present and attentive. But I
Yeah.
think our cell phone technology have taught us we need to have this paper mache of
Yeah.
what makes us to be. And it's okay not to be okay. That's another thing
Yeah.
trauma has taught us. It's okay not to be okay.
Yes. Yes.
Real. And that's the only truth, Vangile, that haunts us is the fact that you know you're not okay, but you keep going. Every second you keep pushing yourself
Yes.
to the edge. So
Yes.
that's how,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
think what
so
you've just
people,
said is so powerful, right? And it's
yeah,
the thing that people, we always feel like we need to pretend that everything is okay, that I need to show up in a particular way, I need to present this particular facade. I'm like, why? If I'm not okay,
I,
I'm not okay. This is between me and God. Like what everyone else thinks, that's your drama, right? Like if I'm not okay, I am just not okay. There's not,
yeah,
I've never, as I've started doing this work, I realized that the shame of having to pretend that I'm okay was what kept me trapped for years. The
mm,
shame of pretending I had great relationships when I didn't. All that shame kept me trapped. And also, what happened was that I would even pretend to the people who were closest to me who it was okay to be open to, because like you just get used to like being the strong black woman to have it, having it together. Now I'm just like, you know what, let it out. You know,
yeah,
share with people, because it's, there's no shame in not being okay. This is the human experience. Sometimes you're on a high, sometimes you're on a low, sometimes crazy things happen, you know.
so
And
true.
so it's okay. And
It's okay.
how have your relationships and your discussions with money been able to change since doing the coaching? So, like, how has, since starting the coaching, like, have you seen that you relate to people differently when money is concerned? I know in the business you've been able to delegate, but are you able to set money boundaries, etc.? Because that's such a big thing for many of us.
Yeah. So with having money or not having money, there's also this perception where it's expected. It's like, Hlati, yeah, our friend, she can handle this. Like splitting
Mm,
bills, for instance, would have been like
yeah.
a taboo thing because nobody explains it to me. They come over, they initiate the dinner, but they know they're not gonna pay. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm now more confident because I wouldn't then feel I should address it. So now I'm more confident on time we're splitting. I'm not being stingy or anything, but we're splitting the bill. That's like you expect it, you know? So that's one. And secondly, I'm now more comfortable being in spaces of not even people in the same level, I don't know how to put it, but to talk about buying things cash, but to talk about your experiences with money, to talk about the good and the bad, and the good being, I actually did well this year. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a shame because in your family, it's almost like you don't want to be the rich aunt because the responsibilities that are going to come with that, you know, and I don't have children. So I don't want to create a underlying expectation of, yes, we're going to be doing a get together, but so and so must finance more than, you know what I mean. So I used to feel ashamed to even talk about money or what I do, because the minute you say buying tracking, it's zeros. People only see ATM. I swear. So I'd be like, yeah, no, I do this, and you understand when you try downplay what you do, and those are blessings. Never downplay what you do or what you're still trying to do. Like, yes, now I'm in tracking, but I'm working towards property. Like, I need to own stuff, you know. But now the minute you be like, because there's people out there like, I just got rich and you're out here buying property during COVID. Like, why is it taboo? Why is it? Why can't I celebrate my celebration? It doesn't have to be. So since the coaching, those are the relationships that I've managed to keep, let go, nurture type of thing. And new ones to even start. And also respecting money as my best friend. If I'm ashamed of a best friend, how is the best friend ever going to be there for me? How is the best friend ever going to be there for me? They won't show up. They also won't show up. So it's a whole, treat your money as you would like to be treated, basically. So
maybe not so much as you would like to be treated, as you would like to treat your best friend, because the way sometimes we treat ourselves, you know, but because I find that so weird. We treat ourselves better. Sometimes we treat ourselves worse than we treat other people. We give others the best treatment. We will buy people the best gifts, but not be able to spend the same money on ourselves. This was highlighted to me last year. I gave my mom, whom you now know through videos and everything, that and Hlathikazi is going to meet my mom in a few weeks. Her brother and one of her business partners just spent time with my mom in the village. It was so
they
funny.
loved it, by the way. The FOMO. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I gifted her a 3-week retreat, like 3-week international vacation last year, and 2-week retreat, 5-hour massages every day for 2 weeks in Thailand, staying at this incredible place at Ithaqen, jungle vibe.
And I know you and 5 stars. You don't backpack. You stars.
I ain't backpacking, guys. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But I can't.
No, I love it. No, I love it. That's now the relationship I have. Like, I'm into 5 stars, guys. It's okay. Like, can we not?
Yeah, so I gifted her that. But get this. I had never gifted myself that. You know, I was like 2 weeks at the retreat in Ithaqen. I always wanted it, like womb massages, 5 hours, but I would go for like a day, 2 days, and then be like, oh, that's enough. And after that, I remember one Visa, the owner of Ithaqen, sat me down and she said, have you ever asked yourself why you are willing to bring students here, why you're gifting your mom, why you're doing so much for others, but you can't do that for yourself? She literally had to drag me to get a 5-hour massage. When my mom was there, she was like, don't worry about it. Your mom has had like a full 13 days. Take one of the days for yourself. And I was like, no, I want her to have the full experience. That got me thinking, you know, it really got me thinking. And from there, I think that was a shift for me, because I always thought I gift myself a lot. Obviously, I travel, I do stuff, but I was like, but it's still not like, there's still a part of me that isn't doing that, right? And so that's why I'm saying, like, maybe how treat money the way that you would treat your best friend, because some of us are still on this journey of self-giving and self-loving.
Self-acknowledgement.
Mm, yeah. So, what are the three lessons or takeaways that you've had from coaching, be it around your relationship with money, around healing? What are some of the things that you want to talk about? And maybe let's talk a little about the spirit of money.
Okay, so do I start with the three things or the spirit of money?
Whichever.
Okay, so the three takeaways of, okay, firstly, spirit of money I didn't know existed. Let's start with the spirit of money. And
Nobody knows it exists. I just made it up for wealthy money.
yeah, but it's a thing. It's honestly a thing. And one thing that I've learned with this entire journey is the power of meditation, the power of inward attentiveness, and the power of paying attention. It's the weirdest thing. We wake up, we have two ears, we can hear, but we do not pay attention, you know. And that's when I got to encounter the spirit of money and what she's about. Mine is a woman. What she's about, she's lavish, she's
For you.
she yeah, she's elderly, but I get to understand, and it's like a reflection of what I suppose I see myself within money, and how my expansion and how far my expansion is going to be, you know, and the levels that I need to level up on, basically, because I feel like she makes me want to level up all the time, which is a good thing. And the three takeaways for me from coaching is the power of planning. Not just planning your day, not just planning your goals, not just planning your long-term goals, like a detailed plan of, yes, I'm getting land. By when? How much?
When?
How are you getting that amount? How much effort are you putting in? And that goes towards the effort versus the productivity. You know, it doesn't, quantity of hours will then mean you are guaranteed the no. It's calculated, and also allowing the universe to play its role. We're not that in control. I feel like 30% of my efforts, I've just learned, are me physically. The rest is the work. You must just put in the work. Be there. Just be there. Secondly, money being a spirit. It's a whole spirit. Like, it's a whole, how you treat it, basically. It's a boomerang effect. You know, how you treat it. If you want it quickly run out so you can make more, it will quickly run out. If you want it to stay, it will stay. If you want it to appreciate, you must also appreciate it, you know. And also how you do money exchanges. I think that's also quite important, you know, the type of money exchange, because we take those things for granted. Like, there's certain exchanges you shouldn't be doing, like, at all, you know. So at different beliefs or different feelings, you will have to discover what that is. But there's certain money exchanges where, you know, I shouldn't have done that. And you don't know why things get blocked or what's happening, because you don't actually pay attention. Dollar billions, you know. And also the relationship. So I've created a relationship with myself. I'm an extrovert. So relationshiping is my thing. But I never had a relationship. I never had a relationship.
So powerful.
I've learned.
So powerful.
You taught me something amazing, where I must look in the mirror, I must forgive myself, I must ask for forgiveness, and I must tell myself that I love myself. And that was very weird at first, because I just break down and cry on some, why is it even getting to me? Because it's so dumb. I've got 3 things to say in front of the mirror every day, like, you know. So yeah, so that relationshiping really, really helped. And in terms of confidence and appreciating myself and my body and who I am, you know, and what my purpose is, you know, in this universe. I still can. And just to also go back to the spirit, there's a simple thing that Vangile teaches us to open your online banking or print your bank statements, look at them. How do you feel? And then she says, whatever you feel, allow it. And you're like, some days you get embarrassed. You're like, some days you're excited. Yeah, girl. You know, that thing is a thing. You know, that's the thing. So the whole bank account challenge, I think, is incredible. And we don't do that. We are scared to look. I was so scared to look at my bank account. I don't mind swiping, and I know there'll be like a ding ding, but for me to check where that 3,000 went and what the balance is, that's where the in denial comes in. So look at it, look at it, look at it. It's not your enemy. Look at it. So
It's
I'm
not your enemy.
yeah. So I'm doing that at personal capacity and as the business, and yeah. Other stuff,
Oh,
the work, the trauma, it's all worth it. It's really worth it.
right?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so fascinating. I love what you said about the bank account challenge because it's something that comes up a lot in the Money Magic series. And I think what you just said, though, is the power in it. We never talk about it because people just say, oh, it's looking at your bank account every day, cool. But the real power in this is not in looking at your bank account, right? It's in the awareness that you bring into the process, like observing what is going on within you, right? And then like when that awareness is married with our spirit of money, lordy lord, that's when the real magic happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh my gosh. So my second last question actually is okay, so when we've heard about your business and how that has shifted, what are some of the personal highlights financially that you've gotten? So like you bought a house, etc. since we started coaching. Can you share about that?
Okay. So since I started coaching, I'm not ashamed to give myself a salary, good or bad money.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Remember, I wasn't earning. I would have money,
Yes.
my money, business money, like I was not earning. So yeah.
That was a big thing. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna salary girl. Like I'm on it. And hence now I can have two bank account challenges because personally, Gishab, and the business is also doing okay. So I've been blessed okay, so when I got to Joburg, I was squatting in a guest house. I'd do guest houses for the past 3 years. So I'd come every second week. So what then happened when the lockdown happened, I was in Joburg. So I couldn't go home and there were no flights. So I had this incredible family. So she's like, it's fine, you can stay with us and just figure out what happens. Because I didn't have a permit to drive either. So level 5 happened, level 4 happened, and this incredible family is just like, stay with us, it doesn't matter. So she ended up giving me her self-catering cottage. It was a 2-bedroom cottage, and I had now to rent. So we had a longer rental agreement situation. So at that time, I can't do other provinces, and I'm from the Eastern Cape, so I could only do business within the province that I'm in, and things, like I said, we're carrying on sparingly. Long story short, I felt this rental thing doesn't quite sit well with me, So I started looking for, at the time, I thought I'm going to get office space and maybe like a little nyana house to buy or whatever. I'll see what rental in Joburg commercially, you guys are ridiculous. I was like, no ways. Like 40 square meters and deposit is over 39,000. I'm like, to do what? Like, why am I paying for a generator? Why am I? So that was out. I was like, I'm not doing that. That is not. So going back to the initial plan. So I started searching. At the time, I couldn't find, you couldn't go view. So the minute level 3, I think, level 3, level 2, you can view property.
Yeah.
I was on there and I started, I didn't even know which places I wanted to stay in. I don't know Johannesburg. So I'd go according to my budget. Then I'll get these funny new developments and these fancy places. And like, I was so frustrated. Then the one evening after, actually, I'd just been with you for a session.
For the spirit of money meditation. I remember that.
Yeah. It was a Friday. It was a Friday evening. I find because my brief to all the agents, I want an old house that I can maybe later renovate, extend, but I don't want like complexes. I don't want new development. I don't want a lot of people my age. Can you not have people my age? That was the. But because I gave them a budget, they would always take me to all these other places. So I'm like, okay, let me not give a budget. Let me just try a brief. found this
Yeah.
incredible little thatched roof house, which I'm sitting in right now.
Yes.
And apparently, before lockdown, it was there was the last evaluation was at 1.650.
Yeah.
I came to see it, and it was listed. It was 1.350. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, we're doing this cash. Da, da, da. So, but then it needs a lot of work, you know. But
Yes.
it's beautiful. I'll send you pictures. So it needs like painting, attached from the outside, needs a bit of work and whatnot. But it's incredible,
It's
and it has stayed
gorgeous.
anyone in 2 years. Nobody stayed here in 2 years. So the business
God.
that bought it, they wanted to just let it go because financially they're not doing okay. So they heard it's a cash deal. I came in with contractors just to quickly suss out how much it's going to cost me to renovate. They came with the
Yeah.
figures. I ended up getting the house at 1.150 cash.
Yes.
So because the house was empty, the transfer is only happening end of October, but they're like, stay, like just move in, stay.
Yeah.
Now I'm saving on the rent that I
Wow.
had at the other side, and I'm sitting in my office as I talk to you right now, which is now I've got an office and residential. So yeah, that's just one of my highlights for this year and since I started coaching. So I'm
So all
sabbatically
these
in a new
things.
house. Yeah, I'm sabbatically in a new house. And in 2 weeks is my 31st birthday, and we're doing a housewarming. And
Oh,
so the
I'm
three
so
months off
happy.
of gardening. Like I'm a 31-year-old that gardens now. It's exciting things. We landscape and plan bathrooms and tiles. So yeah, incredible things.
I love it. That's like your life now. You're like, I'm looking for a landscaper. I'm like,
Like
okay.
so it's just incredible. Like yeah, and it's a home.
Yeah.
It's literally a home. That's what I
Mm.
was looking for. Yeah, and I stay with my
I really, yeah, I love it. I love that you stay with your brother and it's a home. And it's just this really amazing thing that you manifested. Because I
family.
mean, it's literally, you were so intentional. You wanted commercial property and you wanted a place to live. And as you got intentional, and I remember that so clearly when we were like with the spirit of money. And then like a few days later, you're like, I'm buying a house. I'm like,
Wait,
no.
that's not what I meant. That's what you said. You're like, wait, what is the interest rate? What's going on? What are the levies? Relax. I know.
Guys, I was so like,
I just sprung it on you.
what just happened? You know, I was like, wait, this was not on the table a few days before. Then she sends me this deal and the pictures and everything. I'm like, this
Go
is
for it.
not, then my next thing was, this is not possible. Like the pricing for the property
Bryanston.
in the location in Bryanston, everything
With the
about it. I
stream.
was like,
I wake up to birds and water. There's a stream in my backyard, y'all. Like, there's nature galore.
no, man, your spirit of money went the extra
I told
mile.
her she's glam. I told her she's glam. I just had to live a laugh. She's
I
never.
was like, no way. And it's interesting that you say that about the spirit of money, because my spirit of money is very like spiritual zen. Like often my spirit, so I've also have a spirit of money that is a Somali pirate, which
Wow.
is kind of crazy, you know.
Okay.
And sometimes he'll come through and like share some crazy stuff with me where I'm like, oh,
I didn't know
okay, that is the, I didn't know any of that about money, but that is crazy, just so that I keep it real. And then most of the time, my spirit of money is like this yogi, started off as a clown. Now it's like this yogi guy who does yoga, or it's like all these spiritual goddesses, African goddesses that come through and say things. I even have like these fairies that like are both male and female. And sometimes when they talk during my spirit of money meditations, they come together as one being, then separate as two different beings. Come together as one being and separate as two different beings. I guess like just to keep reminding me that money is both masculine and feminine energy. You know? So it can be anything. A spirit of money can be anything. But what I find interesting is how like it aligns more with who we are as a people.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's a part of me that is straight up Somali pirate.
Yeah,
Cancer, you know. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So love it. So most people think that my last question is, what would you say to people who always say this to me? So people always say, no, it's cool, we're not going to bother working with you on your courses or your coaching because we've got the free blog, we've got the videos on YouTube, we've got you on social media, you're always teaching, you give so much content, I'll shift from there. What would you say to people like that, given the shifts that you've had in just 3.5 months? You know, we haven't even coached
We
for
haven't
that
finished.
long. It's
We haven't even finished.
no,
Anyway.
not even.
So the content is there, right?
Yeah.
You give so much into your work. The content is there, the platforms are there, people can plug in. But the consistency and the more physical for me, okay, we all different. I can't do this without you, because the minute you're gonna tell me to meditate on the blog or whatever, I'll be like, we meditate in yoga all the time. Like, you just quiet your mind and breathe.
Yeah.
But then what?
Yes.
Then what? You know? So there's more that we get out of it. Like I said, if you want to make it, I'll be honest, if you want to make it as a selfish thing and you're not really in it for anything else, the connections. Just come prepared and be like, hi, I've got a tiling project. I've got a thatching. This is what I need. I'm trying to get to do you know a hotel in Missouri or something like that? Just come for that. That's one. If you're not in it for the work. Two, if you feel you are traumatized or depressed, doctors can't really help. You don't know what's going on, but you know this. You know the truth about yourself. Come for that. Three, the blogs can't give you that. They can give you how much you can get out of Ufangeda and how talented and gifted she is, and the insight that she brings into her material, because it's years of planning. She's an author. She does all of these incredible things. And yes, she'll sit and tell us, I was in Malaysia last week, now I'm in Sri Lanka, now I'm in... And you're going to sit there and think like, this one, she's an influencer and she's sponsored, because that is what social media has taught us. So if you're just going to stick to that material, guys, it's not backed up by the hotel she stays in. She'll never say, I'm staying at the Hilton because it's sponsored. No, she'll tell you her location. But people don't see that because we live a double standard life. So get onto the coaching when she has time, because she's fully booked. She's fully booked.
I am actually.
Or enroll in the course. I think the course gets you into a deeper level than just sitting on the social media only. And then you hear other people's incredible testimonies. Like, I got back onto Facebook. I wasn't on Facebook, and I'd hear and like people's comments, like their experiences, their bank accounts. I'm like, I want what they're having, you know? So if you're not about that life, and it's not about the money, because trust me, the money will come. It's not about how much you charges. It's not about any of that, or how much you are losing. Because we are told we operate on bargain.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I said, what we've shared so far and what you've charged me so far, I've quadrupled. So what are we on about? Like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I get to have a salary in 6 figures by giving you 1 figure. You know what I mean? Those are just... And I never thought I would. And I'm like, God damn, I'm the CEO of my own company and MD. What did they earn? They figured out here. Actually, the lava and it's just been incredible. It's just been incredible. I haven't saved. I haven't saved at personal capacity in 4 years. I only save as the business.
Oh wow.
For a rainy day, or to make the bank see that I can get the next credit facility or an overdraft or whatever. Like, so stupid. And I never thought I would leverage on the little that I have and try expand. I never saw it like that.
Yes. Yes.
3 months later,
Look
we are
at you now. Look at you now. Property, first property down, heading on to the next property, learning about property strategies. I love it. You know, love it. Growing businesses. Guys, this is incredible. So just to Hlathikazi's note about the coaching, right? I am unfortunately fully booked up until May 2021. It's kind of a wild thing. Anyway, is this normal that when people contact me, they have a waiting period before they start working with me as I finish off with my previous clients and then like I take on the new batch of clients? It just happens that way that I'm often booked for my coaching. And a huge part of this is because my clients are literally like, as soon as they hear that I've got a spot open, they like, I'm gonna try and talk to my brother, my sister, my business partner, my friend about this. Don't give away the spot. So my one-on-one is often a very full, it fills up really, really fast. So my best advice to you guys is hop on the courses, hop on the bank account course, hop on the money magic course. I am on social media often. I answer questions. I love supporting students. The one-on-one coaching is definitely not the only way to work with me. It's pointless to wait up until May 2021 because the chances are I'll probably, as soon as March comes around, I'll probably be fully booked for that within a very short space of time because my private clients already know my schedule, right? So they can tell with this round that's coming up from November that, she may have space come May. Let me plug my people in. So it works like that.
The same way. We all trying to create a billionaire club here, okay? So I can't be the only rich aunt. Like,
yeah, so I love that though about the coaching because I love how clients see the benefits and it's just like, whoa, I need to get my friend in here. I need to get so-and-so in here. Let's not wait. Yeah, so Hlathikazi, how do people get a hold of you? People that want to learn more about trucking, people who sell trucks, who want trucks bought, people in mining. So guys, if you're in mining or know people in mining and want to hook Hlathikazi up, how do people get hold of you?
I'll give my business line, and I'm always available in there within my 4 hours. So it's 082 4145 287 082 4145 287. So I'll answer all questions. My current subcontracting work that I'm doing, work I'm doing with the military, and. So we'll get to discuss that as I'm still working on like a whole corporate branding and website and everything else. But thank you for
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for coming through, Hlathikazi. I really appreciate it. I'm going to let you go. I know your time is valuable. Thank you. Thank you so much, Money Magicians, for tuning in. If this really resonated with you and you want to know how I work, I've got the bank account challenge coming up in October. Get into the course. The course is already there, pre-recorded. All the content is there. I am just going to be running it live from October 1st to October 5th. So check it out at wealthy-money.com/bank account. Again, wealthy-money.com/bank account. And of course, the Money Magic course, you can check that out as well on the same platform at Wealthy Money Academy. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, hook me up, ask me any questions. Thank you, Hlathikazi. Thank you, Money Magicians.
Thank you.